We employ the most powerful scrying device in Tamriel, and all it yields is more questions. A perfect metaphor for the scholarly life, I suppose. There is one who might be able to help. The ancient dark elf mage, Devaith Fear. Though we rarely see eye to eye, I must admit that his grasp of Daedric lore is unparalleled. If anyone would know more, it's Fear. Fear casts a long, ethereal shadow. It makes him difficult to miss. I sense, yes, he is in Mournhold, the Tribunal Temple, conferring with Almalexia, perhaps. Find Devaith and tell him what is at stake. With any luck, we will find common cause. We employ the most powerful scrying device in Tamriel, and all it yields is more questions. A perfect metaphor for the scholarly life, I suppose. Just remain watchful. Devaith is far from scrupulous. While we Psijics study magic for the benefit of all, Lord Fear only studies it to satisfy his personal ambitions. When our interests align, he can be a powerful ally. When they don't... Enemy is too strong a word. He just resolves to make our lives as difficult as possible. He knows that opposing the Order directly would go very poorly for him. For now, I think he will prove very useful. I advise vigilance, nonetheless.
Did you think I would not expect you? I already know all that occurred with Lilatha and the murderous shadows. Rest assured, I will find this mysterious Daedric artifact. Perhaps you'd like to assist me. A voyage that only a few have ever undertaken. We will travel to Sothasil's peculiar experiment, the Clockwork City. I have inquiries to make. You will assist me. I do. The Tribunes are not so clever that they could hide such a place from me for long. The city is quite close, and also very far away. Just the first of Sothasil's many paradoxes. If you choose to join me, be prepared for many more. I have no great fondness for that Psijic Lilatha, but you saved her life and defeated a powerful shadow mage in the process. A remarkable accomplishment for someone of your breeding. I'm confident you will continue to surprise me. Of course you will. Naturally you have questions. Alas, they will have to wait. Servants of the Tribunal do not look kindly on blasphemous journeys like this one. Meet me at the waterfall north of the city. We can discuss the details there. There you are! Come! Here, behind the waterfall! My companion arrives at last. Now then, our journey begins in this dreary little cave. What a surprise, yes? Believe me, it won't be the last. We can speak freely here, but do make it brief. All this natural splendor is just tedious. The Father of Mysteries, the Clockwork God, the Tinkerer, and other such banal titles. Sothasil, or Set, is a member of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He reigns over Morrowind as the god of craft and sorcery, the wisest and most reclusive of the three. Ha! No one truly knows Sothasil, not even his hordes of wild-eyed worshippers. I studied with him before his ascent, and even then he defied comprehension. His only true peer was Indoril Nerevar. Such a shame what happened to him. Indeed, Saint Nerevar the Captain, our king and greatest champion for a time. He died, tragically, during a journey to the heart of Red Mountain. It was all very sudden. Some believe his retainer, Dagoth struck the mortal blow. Others... Some believe that Sothasil, Vivek, and Almalexia murdered Nerevar so they could take divine power for themselves. Who's to say what really happened? In any event, Sothasil emerged from the mountain even more inscrutable than before. I think it's irrelevant. The silence of Sothasil may come from a place of grief and deep regret. It might be a side effect of his fierce obsessions, perhaps both. How he became a god is no concern of mine. I respect his knowledge, nothing more. Sothasil hides everything. But more to your point, it's not just a city. It's an incomprehensibly powerful, world-shaping device. Can't leave that sort of thing lying about, can you? Also, Almalexia worries about how it reflects on her divinity. Yes, Seal's fellow tribune. A machine can be studied, and perhaps understood in time. She fears that by reducing their divinity to a machine, Sothasil lessens the mystique of their godhood. To his great credit, Seal largely ignores these concerns. A Daedric artifact. I take a keen interest in all such objects, but this one seems especially significant. You see, nearly everyone who searches for it winds up dead. I suspect that someone or something hid this artifact away in the Clockwork City. Other people are not to Vaith fear. I've not lived this long by shying away from dangerous relics. Anyway, if this artifact inspired someone to slaughter scores of mages, it's clearly something worth investigating. Draftier than I remembered. Follow me. Welcome to the Dwarven Hold of Palm's Arm Shen. Such as it is. Ironic that AM's holy city of Mournhold has Dwemric roots. Curious. Practically no one knows this route, but this scaffolding looks new. Built by rogue ordinators, perhaps? Stay watchful. Sothasil always did admire dwarven industry, albeit quietly. Perhaps that's why he built his city here. This lift will take us to the nethermost depths of the ruin, and to our destination. Come along. On you go. The entrance lies just ahead. Do you see, just across the ravine? That's our door. Clearly didn't care for these factories. So close. I'd say prepare yourself, but nothing can prepare you for what's to come. Touch the sphere. Clockwork City awaits. Fortress. Someone diverted our passage. Audacious, but foolhardy. When I find them, wait. I feel cold. Back, creature! My shadow! My power! Don't let it escape! Factotums! They're activating! Ready your weapons! I will assist you as best I can! Another bat! Spinning up! Destroy them!
Feck, I hope you're watching.
Southeast! Make ready!
Don't let them throw you around like that!
That better be the last of them!
Try breaking free!
Scrap heaps. My shadow remains close. We must hurry. Swivel swords. Oh, wonderful. I'm in no condition to navigate this maze. Go. Find a way to deactivate these traps. Perhaps I failed to impress the gravity of our situation upon you. If my shadow gets away, we may never escape this place. So if you have something to say it quickly. Yes. Perhaps something more. In removing my shadow, our attacker removed some vital part of my animus. My soul, in the common parlance. Without it, my power is severely diminished. Needless to say, this will not do. Yes, of course. Disrupting the binding would cause my animus to disperse. A welcome prospect, to be sure. I might be able to reclaim the shadow, but not before we exhaust its power. So when we confront it, use restraint. Not yet. We should have translocated directly to the Brass Fortress, Seal's chief municipality here in the Clockwork City. But somehow we ended up here. Vexing. One step at a time, if you please. We need only to find a landmark or map or something. Once I determine where we are, it won't take long to find an exit. Just leave that to me. You focus on these traps. Well done. Killed by spinning knives. Place now. The pneumatic forge. We should leave as soon as possible. Sotha Seal constructs his clockwork servitors here, the factotums. They reject anyone who doesn't belong. Someone meant for us to die here. Remedial spellcraft is all I can muster, but I will aid you as best I can. Lead on. Defeat this monstrosity, but don't kill it. I must reclaim my power. All of them, take heed! Stand back. Time to reclaim what is mine. Maliad kebiet tehir! Devacrocad Sint Morad! Finally. You never know how much you miss a thing until it tries to kill you. More ridiculous machines? I've had enough of this. Come. We still have a long way to go.
So the seal
Behold,
built this place
the
and
Clockwork
everything
City.
in it, except for the people. Well,
So the
maybe
Seal's
even a
brass
few of them
fortress
too,
waits
by
at the
the
end of
look.
this road. We should go there at once. Keen to find out who sent us on that delightful jaunt through the New Martis. Follow this road to the brass fortress. When you see the way shrine, veer north, or what passes for north here. If you have other business to attend to, I'll not stop you. Just meet me at the gates to the fortress when you're ready to proceed. Concerned for my well-being? Oh, touching. With time, I should make a full recovery. You performed admirably in there. I must admit, I had my doubts. But don't worry. I have doubts about practically everyone. No. I hoped that in reclaiming my shadow, I might catch a glimpse of our adversary or my prize. Alas, nothing. Seems we'll have to conduct inquiries the old-fashioned way. Have you forgotten so soon? I came to the Clockwork City in search of a Daedric artifact. Our misadventures in the New Martis and this mysterious relic share a common point of origin, I'm certain. Now it's just a matter of rooting it out. You've arrived. Good.
Devate Fear, I warned you never to come back. And you, one of Fear's lackeys, I take it.
Luciana Pullo. Hospitable as ever? Go talk to her. I'll not waste my time speaking with a petulant toy soldier.
Hold there, friend of Fear. I am Proctor Luciana Pullo of the Clockwork Apostles. I don't know how you and this egomaniac breached Lord Set's Celestiadrome, but I won't have non-citizens stirring up mischief in the Brass Fortress. Only just arrived and already trying to grease the gears? New arrivals must secure an endorsement from a citizen in good standing. I'm prepared to overlook your atrocious choice in companions if you can find a sponsor. Until then, you are tarnished. That's for you to find out. Not many citizens will risk their reputation on a green-heeled stranger, and you'll find no comfort from me. Maybe you should confer with the other tarnished over there. In the meantime, obey the law. I'll be watching. Tread carefully, Fear. I'll be watching.
Luciana clearly hasn't lost her charming demeanor. Predictable. Ah, yes. Their bizarre sponsorship custom. I forgot about that little wrinkle. As a friend and peer of Sotha Seal, I come and go as I please. I suppose it would be best for you to wait out here. If I need you again, I will find you. I'm not a citizen. And even if I were, I'd not waste time wading through their opaque bureaucracy. You've proven yourself to be more than capable. I have no doubt you'll figure something out. Gain your sponsorship. We will speak again soon. I appreciate your assistance in the pneumatic forge, but for now, our paths must diverge. The artifact we seek will not remain in one place for long. I can ill afford a delay. Navigate this absurd ritual quickly, and I will find you again afterward. One of Sotha Seal's greater lackeys, Chief Proctor of the Clockwork Apostles. You might have noticed some mild cosmetic flaws. Honestly, I think she's more automaton than flesh and blood. She She certainly acts the part. Seal takes all kinds. Imperials, Bretons, even Argonians. Luciana may be one of his oldest servants. She served Emperor Riemann Cyrodiil as a battle mage in her younger years. Made quite a name for herself during the Akaviri invasion. According to the legend, she was caught in a torrent of arcane energy during a battle with a rival mage. It mangled her body and sent her hurtling through the veil. She eventually crashed here. Seal found her shortly thereafter and mended her wounds. Indeed. At first, I thought she served him out of some cheap obligation. Reciprocity for his kindness. But apparently, she really believes in this place. I heard they had a bit of a falling out. She still serves him, though, in her dog-like fashion. People like her rarely are. You see, I present a destabilizing influence. I reject all illusions of authority and thus reject their entire way of life. Hierarchy, ritual, reverence, it's all a sham. I respect power, not absurd social constructs. Yes, a monastic order of sorts. They serve Sotha Sil through magical inquiry. Apostles fancy themselves iconoclasts who push the boundaries of magical praxis. There's a seed of truth there, I suppose, but they're still obnoxious. You mean, are they all half-metal monstrosities? More or less. Some modify themselves more than others. It's a form of reverence. They want to be more like Sotha Sil. You see, Sil has some peculiar... Well, I'll let you see for yourself. Sil has many names. Sotha Sil, Set, Sea, the Clockwork God, on and on. Tiresome, if you ask me. The Clockwork Apostles mostly refer to him as Set, his verse and sermon name. I call him Seal, because I'm not a doe-eyed idiot.
You saved our high and mighty queen, eh? Ha! Naaman should have had the crown. Well, if it isn't my second favorite assistant. What a fortuitous turn of events. I shouldn't be surprised. You have a knack for appearing when I need you most. I take it you haven't found a sponsor yet? Maybe we can help each other. Initially, I thought we could rely on my ample charms to win us a sponsor. Unfortunately, the people here tend to value craft over the pleasure of my company. Providing some gift or service seems to be the only way to earn a sponsorship. Yes, a Clockwork Apostle named Varuni Arvel. Apparently she's a member of the Congress of Calibration, the governing body here in the city. My associates, Kirith and Raynor, are already working on a plan to earn her trust. Will you help us? This promises to be a fruitful collaboration. I tasked Kirith and Raynor with acquiring gifts for Varuni, but they tend to wander. Kirith's just there by the cliff. You should speak with her. In the meantime, I'll conduct more research. Questions? Seeing as you found your own way here, I suppose there's no harm in sharing my own methods. I just learned of a secret cave beneath the city of Mournhold that, until recently, was entirely inaccessible. Can you imagine? Fearing that the Tribunal might seal it again, I set off through the cavern as soon as I could. It pained me to leave my usual cohorts behind, but this duo, Kirith and Raynor, have performed admirably. A pair of dark elf explorers. Like me, they delight in all things mechanical. Their youth and endless sibling rivalries can prove irksome, But what they lack in experience, they more than make up for in enthusiasm. Unfortunately, my illustrious bodyguard was away on personal business. I know better than to ask for specifics. I certainly miss her services, but one makes do. This promises to be a fruitful collaboration.
So that pompous high elf got his hooks in you too, huh? I told my brother Raynor we should go it alone, but any house in an ash storm, right? Speaking of Raynor, he might need your help. Depends on your definition of trouble, I guess. He's down in the ravine, playing with the firepot spiders for some reason. He wouldn't tell me more. Unfortunately, those spiders have a tendency to, explode. Like I said, he didn't want to discuss it. Probably whipped up an automata-disrupting spoon twirler or something. He gets like this sometimes. Just check in on him, all right? He's clumsy and those apostles' mechanical limbs look expensive. Thanks for the help. Raynor's smart, but you can't smart a spider to death, you know? Well, Naramo said we needed something to offer this Varuni character, but from what I can tell, she doesn't really need anything. So I asked myself, what do you get the person who has everything? A home-cooked meal, Argonian pottery, or information. Since I'm a terrible cook, and we're worlds away from Black Marsh, I think I'll go with the third thing. This brass fortress is brimming with gossip. I just need to listen for it. Wish me luck.
Sergeant Baldan, this one has the gold you requested. Will you still sponsor me?
I gave you my word, didn't I? Come, Cat. We can discuss the specifics in my office.
1,000 blessings, Walker. Lankin has much to offer the brass fortress.
Yes, I'm sure you do.
Hello again. So strange. I'm glad to see you, but I must admit, the statistics are staggering. What are the odds of us meeting here again in an extraplanar space? Rhetorical, of course. Honestly, I am glad you're here. Kirith? So you've joined our band of outsiders. Welcome. Now look, I may lack Kirith's natural talent with a blade, but I can accomplish this on my own. Varuni's sure to sponsor us once I deliver this. Oh, who am I kidding? I do need your help. These firepot spiders contain a highly unstable oil-like fluid. The dangers inherent to acquiring it make it very valuable indeed. I discovered a way to prevent the spiders from detonating. But even diffused, they're more than capable of killing me. So you'll do it? Yes, of course! If you attract the spider's attention, I can use this tonal dampener to disarm their ignition coils. Just a simple matter of inverting their threat assessment array and... Sorry. I can get carried away sometimes.
Never used to fight this much, until I met you.
More oil! Excellent!
I guess this is a fight now.
One more, and I think we've got it. And that's the last of it. Excellent! Brilliant! We really made short work of those spiders, didn't we? Here, you can carry the oil. Take the oil to Varuni. Neramo said she has an office in the Clockwork Basilica. Hopefully this will be enough to earn a sponsorship. If you don't mind, I'll accompany you to the gate. Can't be too careful out here. Again, thank you. Good luck in the Basilica.
So the Seal built this place and everything in it, except the people. Well, maybe even a few of them too, by the look.
I haven't seen Sotha Seal yet. Does he ever come out?
He concerns himself with the divine metronome, beyond simple understanding, unheeding of the line motion so many tread upon.
But shouldn't he help look after the city he created?
In silence, we are given mysteries. From mysteries is born curiosity. We must assemble our own truths, lest we forget its importance, its purpose.
Huh. Well, I guess he would be pretty busy being a god and all.
To join our sacred order takes not only skill, but also a dedication to innovation and discovery. It is not enough to simply learn what is, but to imagine what could be.
I guess I was lucky enough to get here before the big crowd. The rumors I've heard about those struggling to find a sponsor, well, I'd rather not discuss it. You'll tell me this instant if there's truth to these rumors.
I have nothing to say on the matter, Auxiliary.
You will tell me if this portal exists. This could be my one chance to get home.
This is your home now. I suggest you find your place in it.
And just as I promised, my assistant arrives. You brought a gift for our sponsor, right? You did bring a gift, correct? Give it to Varuni without delay.
Greeting, Auxiliary. Is your friend correct? Did you bring an offering? Fire Patwell. Tremendous. And you managed to keep all 10 fingers. I'm impressed. Thank you. Now, to the matter of your citizenship. You're clearly a capable warrior, but in the Clockwork City, mental precision is of paramount importance. A number of outsiders have gone missing in recent weeks. I fear someone might be abducting them, or worse. But I have no proof. I spoke to your friend Neramo, and he insists you can gather the evidence I need. Succeed, and I'll sponsor you all. Try to keep this inquiry quiet, all right? In the Clockwork City, even a small creak in the gears can draw curious eyes. Provost Varuni Arvel, ranking Disquisitor in the Congress of Calibration. Before you ask, yes, I'm a bit young for such a tenurial position. Fortunately, Lord Set established a true meritocracy here. One day, I'll get a chance to thank him. Bet. No, Lord Set's far too busy. He only recently emerged from seclusion in the Cagatum Centralis. He's addressed the Congress, but I haven't had an opportunity to present myself. You should be thoroughly prepared when you meet a god, right? Of course. Lord Set, known to many as Sotha Seal, is the father of curiosity. By his word, we create, perfect, and overcome. He cares for all of us, just as a clockmaker cares for each gear in spring. Every piece matters, no matter how small. I do a lot of reading. It's all there in the sermons. Some people think he's aloof, callous even. But I disagree. He stands with us in a way that Vivek and Almalexia never could. And he'll guide us all to a better world. Very little, which is more problematic than it sounds. Any loose cog can carry out an abduction. It doesn't take a criminal mastermind to throw someone down a drain pipe. What worries me is that none of it was recorded by factotums or sentry coils. We record what happens everywhere. Honestly, I don't know how you exodromals do without. You lose so much in Tamriel. Knowledge, memories, and you must argue incessantly. Everything that happens here is fact, documented and verifiable. Exodromal. Sorry, I forget how strange our words sound to foreign ears. Anyone who enters the Clockwork City from the outside world is known as an exodromal, since they come from beyond the Celestiodrome, the glass sphere you'd call our sky. I know, but secrets are the purview of Lord Set, and Lord Set alone. I have nothing to hide. The sermons tell us that only the disassembled engine can be scrubbed and made clean. Knowledge requires light, openness, collaboration, you see?
So, ready to do a bit of sleuthing? I'm confident that we can find this elusive evidence, but it will require some skullduggery. Breaking and entering, to be specific. Ready for the details? Varuni suspects that someone destroyed city records. But if my study of Dwemer ruins has taught me anything, it's that nothing is ever truly destroyed. You just need to look in the right place. Here, that place is the Depository Documatis. Sneaking into the depository is impossible for us, but Sothasil's clockwork automata enter and exit the structure constantly. I discovered a way to control one such automata, a device known as a skivaton. I'm sure you're duly impressed. No, you are. I will provide technical assistance and keep an eye out for prying eyes, both mechanical and organic. Head to the depository. I'll meet you there, after I've wrapped up matters with our new benefactor. If you have questions, you should ask them now. Once we begin our investigation, we'll have little time to dawdle. As Varuni said, everything here generates a record. From what I gather, those records constantly pass through the Depository Documatis. When you say it like that, it does sound daunting. It's true. The evidence we seek drifts through vast oceans of information. Luckily, these skivatons seem very capable when it comes to sorting and parsing. I guess we'll just have to find out. I equipped the skivaton with a number of key words and concepts to help it sort out extraneous documents. Have some faith. I've extracted information from tonal vaults and Dwemer orreries. Sifting through city records pales in comparison. Honestly, they're not all that dissimilar from the Dwemer devices I usually tinker with. Sothasil clearly learned a great deal from the dwarves. They use an unfamiliar tonal dialect, as it were, but the basic principles remain the same. We will employ a very simple control device. How to explain it? The skivatons send and receive signals from other clockwork automatons constantly. This device allows us to drown out all the noise, making our voices the only sound it hears.
As I said before, those tarnished redundants down in the slums are no concern of yours. I've instructed the constabulary to keep a strict eye up.
Yes, that Constable Baldan's done an admirable job. Even so, tarnished and exodromals enter the Basilica far too often.
And what of these rumors? Black-robed figures lurking on the edge of the radius?
Honestly, Diwa, settle the boilers, I will never let tarnished or exodromals or mysterious robed ghosts disrupt our work, believe me. Ah, you must be Lord Fear's associate. I'm afraid I can't be seen talking to an outsider. Appearances, I'm sure you understand. So, yes, Off you go.
There you are. I prepared the device. All is in readiness. Prepared to see through the eyes of a clockwork automaton? Brilliant. Just activate the skivaton, place it in the server flume, and I'll instruct you further. As Varuni said, everything here generates a record. From what I gather, those records constantly pass through the depository documatus. When you say it like that, it does sound daunting. It's true. The evidence we seek drifts through vast oceans of information. Luckily, these skivatons seem very capable when it comes to sorting and parsing. I guess we'll just have to find out. I equipped the skivaton with a number of key words and concepts to help it sort out extraneous documents. Have some faith. I've extracted information from tonal vaults and Dwemer orreries. Sifting through city records pales in comparison. Honestly, they're not all that dissimilar from the Dwemer devices I usually tinker with. Sothasil clearly learned a great deal from the dwarves. They use an unfamiliar tonal dialect, as it were, but the basic principles remain the same. We will employ a very simple control device. How to explain it? The skivatons send and receive signals from other clockwork automatons constantly. This device allows us to drown out all the noise, making our voices the only sound it hears. Excellent! We have a strong signal. Now, to find Varuni's evidence. Wait! Yes. Go straight, then left. The central depository must be on a different floor. Seeing a lot of interference. Proceed carefully. We can't risk damaging the skivaton's data collector. Expertly done. That grate should lead to the central depository and our evidence. This depository should contain security documents and recordings. Search everywhere. When you find something, use a skivaton to make a remote copy. it! Quickly, assistant, direct the skivaton to the exit, and meet me there to examine the evidence.
I wonder how the Tribunal Temple feels about the Clockwork Apostles. Actually, I wonder if they even know they exist. We're in a whole other world.
All right, let me see what you found. Yes, I believe these recordings correspond to the dates of the disappearances. There's something more. Look here. The last person to access the records was a BAL-167. Circumstantial at best. We might already have a lead. I shared Varuni's concerns with Kirith shortly after you left the Basilica, and she insisted on looking into the matter herself. She cited Constable Baldan as a person of interest. His office should be southwest of here.
There must be some sort of mistake. I'm not meant to be here.
Your path has been set before you, Auxiliary. I suggest you learn to walk it.
What nonsense are you spouting? Just tell me how to go back. I demand it.
Choice is but chaos. Demands but the selfish needs of those who would follow the motion of lines.
Everyone in this place is fetching mad.
Ah, there you are. Done playing with Naramo's wind-up toys? I think I'm onto something. I did a little asking around. Word is, Constable Baldan will sponsor anyone as long as they can pay. Where they go after he takes their gold, that's anybody's guess. Luckily, we're here to sort it out. Here, take this memory stone. I surveyed the building. Someone left the door to Baldan's storage loft unlocked. It should provide a great view of his office. Climb up there and wait. When I offer a bribe, you record the conversation on that memory stone. Then we've got him. Go on, get going. I'll move on Baldan as soon as you're in position. All right, Baldan. I've got your gold. Will you sponsor me for citizenship?
Oh, I'll take your offering. But sponsorship? That's for the living, you tarnished scum.
The living what?
Do it. Well, what are you idling for? Gather up the gold and dump her with the others. We don't want anyone finding our latest visitor.
There you are! Naramo said you'd be around here somewhere. Have you seen Kirith? Is she with you? He what? How could she? We have to rescue her! You don't have any idea where they took her, do you? Yes, of course. I'll get help. Maybe I could even put together some kind of tonal locator. Bah! Not enough time. What would Kirith do? She would investigate. Yes. Talk to the people in Slagtown. They know practically everything about this place. I'll get the others. You hurry off to Slagtown. That's what the locals call the slums in the northeast corner of the fortress. I must admit, I was surprised to find a tenement like that in Sothasil's holy city. Then again, practically everything here has come as a surprise.
Oil those ankles and keep walking, Green Heel. This one has nothing to say to you. Feh! You outsiders are all the same. Cutting into the queues, poaching our salvage, sneering and putting on airs. You're no better than us.
Spare a few coins? I've had nothing to eat but wire and dirt. Have mercy. I might have seen a woman like that, sure. I'd have seen her dark skin and red eyes, heard her squawking like a broken skivaton, but I can't say for certain. Sure would be easier to remember if I had a full stomach. Thank you. Now, listen well. Baldan's thugs took your friend to the mechanical fundament. Guaranteed. It's a maze beneath the city. Nobody ever comes out. If you want to run after your friend, go ahead. But I suggest you stay out of that place.
Threw you in here too, did they? I knew I couldn't be the only one Constable Baldan got the drop on. You're right, we should. And I could, but not yet. I met another one of Baldan's victims, a Khajiit named Lankin. He's been scraping it out down here, but he's no warrior. I told him I'd get him out. Unfortunately, we got separated. That's the spirit. I managed to yank this sword out of a corpse nearby. It's not much, but you don't need a sharp edge to deal with these factotums. Just a heavy swing and a lot of patience. You ready? Let's get moving. Lankin's clever, but he can't hold out much longer. We've got to find him. Is that? No, thank goodness. The body's far too old. Let's keep looking. Decent hiding place, but no Lankin. We should keep looking. Another empty camp. Damn. He must be here somewhere. Is that a pot on the stove? Someone was cooking. And recently. We must be close. Finally! Come with us, Lankin. We're getting you out of here.
Friend Kirith, bright moons above, please, let's leave this dungy place.
Kirith! Thank goodness! Don't suppose you found anything of interest down there?
Enough. I'm glad to see you weren't lying, Raynor Vanos.
That bastard Baldan threw me into the fundament!
Ridiculous. I've never seen this woman in my life.
Liar! You tossed this one in as well!
The nerve of that elf! Clubbing people and throwing them into the sewer like garbage! These apostles better not go easy on him.
Kirith looks no worse for the wear. You have my thanks. I do hope she took a thorough survey while she was down there. Just think of the discoveries to be made. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's settle this miserable affair first.
This Raynor Vanos made some very bold claims. If you have evidence of Constable Baldan's crimes, I suggest you produce it. Huh. You're more resourceful than you look. Little wonder Devaith chose you as his companion. Set knows he needs the help. I'll hold Baldan under guard until I've had an opportunity to review the evidence. As for you, you're free to go.
Luciana, I'd like to ask the constable a few questions when we return to the Basilica.
Don't trouble yourself, Varuni. You know how persuasive I can be.
I do. That's what worries me.
Do your worst, you tin-legged hag.
Set help you if she does, Constable.
Provost Varuni seems eager to speak with you. Go on, then.
The nerve of that elf!
That fool has no idea what he's in for. Live uncomfortably and learn, I suppose. Oh, most certainly. Baldan can't have accomplished all this by himself. Erasing records? Accessing derelict sections of the fundament? These aren't the acts of a simple Mer. Someone helped him. Now it's just a matter of finding out who. I do, one way or another. For now, let's celebrate your achievement. You showed initiative, creativity, bravery, all qualities befitting a servant of Set. You shall have my sponsorship. Of course, each of them played a role in your success, and each of them will share the rewards. Go speak to the Clockwork Registrar and the Chancellor of Records. It will add your name to the codices, and you'll be one of us. Again, you have my thanks.
You'll regret this! Mark me, Proctor! You will regret this!
I doubt that. Get this tarnished piece of scrap out of my sight.
Enjoy prison, you scheming brat.
Ah, it seems I arrived just in time.
So, we're citizens now, right? Finally. Now to find what passes for Sujama in this crazy place.
What are you still doing down here? Varuni gave you her sponsorship, correct? You should go speak to the Clockwork Registrar. As much as it pains me to congratulate a friend of Devaith Fear, congratulations. Yes. Any other questions? I'll talk to him. The tenor of that conversation is totally up to him. Varuni's right. This whole operation had too many moving parts, and ex-Constable Baldon doesn't seem bright enough to pull it off on his own. If there's more to this affair, I'll root it out. Count on it. Now go claim your citizenship.
Well, what are you waiting for, future citizen? Go speak to the Clockwork Registrar. I'll call on you again soon. Count on it.
So that's it? We're citizens now? Wonderful! I can't wait to get started on our next adventure. Well done, Assistant. One quick trip to the Clockwork Registrar, and we'll be full citizens of the Brass Fortress.
By the word, I wind the gears. Please state your business or depart. Welcome, potential resident. Please speak your birth name, followed by the name of your sponsor.
Dreaming. Torchbugs. Overturned jar.
Sponsorship confirmed and archived. The light of knowledge, Sotha Seal, welcomes you to the Brass Fortress. Go forth and create.
Well, I'd say that all worked out splendidly. As one journey ends, another begins. I imagine there's much more to discover here in Sotha Seal's Clockwork City. I can finally begin my exploration in earnest. Now that we've earned our citizenship, I can apply for excavation permits, antiquity transportation licenses. Oh dear. Come to think of it, I might not be able to begin for quite some time. They proved useful. Raynor's theories need some work, and Kirith's refusal to listen to reason caused me no small measure of anxiety. But on the whole, satisfactory. Provided that they follow my lead, I might call on them again in the future. I value your service and partnership, Assistant. Please take this as a token of my appreciation. If I understand the bureaucracy correctly, I may be here in the Brass Fortress for a while. Feel free to seek me out, should you require my aid.
There you are. Good. We have much to discuss.
Devaith Fear? Here? It is a true pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I imagine it is now, and I'll be on your way.
Yes. Well, be seeing you, Assistant. Good day, Lord Fear.
Come, we need to talk. So you're a citizen now. Well done. I heard something about a constable tossing people down sewer drains. Even in this shrine to knowledge, drooling idiots bumble their way to power. Ludicrous. Moving on. I require your services once more. It's Sotha Seal. Shortly after you and I parted company, I sought him out to discuss our Daedric artifact. I fear something is askew. His habits, his diction, the timbre of his voice, they've all changed, albeit subtly. Worse. Initially, I dismissed it as boredom, fatigue, or even the first signs of senility. But now, after observing him at length, I can say with certainty, this is not the Sotha Seal I know. There's Daedric mischief here, and we will root it out. We will leverage your hard-earned citizenship to make inquiries. First, I will make it known that in light of your recent exploits, I offered to take you on as my aide, an offer you eagerly accepted. As the most powerful mage in the Brast Fortress, I find it difficult to have proper conversations with common folk. They grow silent at my approach, then whisper as I leave, an appropriate but sadly uninformative display of deference. Indeed. It's commonly understood that servants grumble about their masters, loudly, to those they consider equals. Ask them about Sotha Seal's recent behavior. I'm confident we'll find something of value tucked away in their churlish complaints. You have questions, of course. Ask what you must. The forces at work here are cunning indeed. You should be prepared for anything. He is inscrutable, but he's also unflinching. Seal always moves deliberately, quietly, and one step at a time, like clockwork. I have never once seen him divert from his course, until now. In the short time we've been here, he has twice adjusted city patrol routes and delivered 3 revisions to the fortress charter. Trust me when I say this is unprecedented. Sotha Seal never meddles like this. That's for you to discover. Don't bother speaking with members of the Congress. Varuni's faith in Sotha Seal is unbreakable. Chancellor Gascoigne resents any threat to the status quo. And Luciana, well, let's just say she's been less than helpful. Luciana resents my presence, but she's no fool. I go where I please, when I please. An open confrontation between us would likely leave hundreds dead. So do not trouble yourself. She will not stand in the way of our investigation. Well, you've met Varuni. She's pleasant, without being vapid or boring. Then again, her doe-eyed faith in Sotha Seal turns my stomach. I find religious attachments repulsive. My thoughts on Luciana are well known. As for Gascoigne... Gascoigne serves as Chancellor. He commands respect, but suffers from the peculiar character flaw of demanding praise at all times. Adulation. A sad fixation indeed. He holds great power, but it's his petty obsessions that make him dangerous. Be wary.
You're Lord Fear's newest steward, huh? Can we talk later? If I don't finish this lamp inventory, Gascoigne will feed me to the fabricants. Yeah, Gascoigne must know how much I love doing paperwork. A few days ago, Sotha Seal ordered us to rip out all the lamps in here and replace them with less efficient ones. What kind of sense does that make? Who wants weaker lamps? A bunch of factotums loaded them onto a dolly and dumped them somewhere in the mechanical fundament. Hey, I know that look. If you're looking to poach a free lamp, don't bother. Gascoigne made us slag them all. And that's not even the worst part. Half the old switches don't work with the new lamp, so we've had to manufacture new switches, and half the time the switches get installed backwards, which means we have to do it all over again. Even the factotums don't know what they're doing. And don't even get me started on the lamp assembly. Sotha Seal could have turned the fabricators to make the new lamps with a flick of his finger, but he demanded that we do it instead. Do you have any idea how complex the fabricators are?
Internal function audit in progress. Please try again later.
So you're Devathir's new auxiliary, eh? Tough luck, friend. I've heard he's an insufferable bastard, but at least he's not Sotha Seal. Better to be turned into a guar than to serve the Clockwork God. Not anymore. In the old days, sure, he was easy to please because he was never around. These days, he changes his mind about something every night. Constant meetings, new dictums daily, adjustments to factotum patrols. It's a nightmare. Trust me, this is unprecedented. I'm afraid something's wrong with his enhancements. Like he's having trouble regulating. He's a different person, I swear. Don't tell anyone I said this, especially Gascon. Blasphemy doesn't go over well nowadays. Yes, speaking ill of a god never turns out well. In the old days, he'd take it in stride. Commit your small blasphemies, he'd say. The fire of doubt turns ignorance to steam. But not anymore. This place is becoming more like Mournhold every day. Right. I'm sure you have plenty of work to do for Lord Fear. He's back a few days and already burying you in paperwork, no doubt. Take care of yourself, friend.
So you're the one Devath tapped to be his aide in the Brass Fortress. Sorry to hear that. Provost Varuni's ancestors hail from House Telvanni, just like Lord Fear. But honestly, they couldn't be more different. Not as bad as you might expect. She's young, youth comes with impatience, but I've never felt unfairly judged, and she's generous with her praise. Honestly, if I had the choice between serving Varuni or Sotha Seal, I'd take Varuni every time. Now more than ever, I don't pretend to understand his motives, but he's never been so demanding. One example? He insists that we turn all the lights down before he enters a room. Do you have any idea how difficult that is? It's maddening! Huh, flipping switches. That's rich. Each lamp has its own switch and some lamps have multiple switches. And if that isn't bad enough, some switches control multiple lamps. He's a god, I know, but it shouldn't take a genius to turn on the lights. Don't even get me started. Varuni might demand some obscure tome in the middle of the night or chide someone for leaving oil on the floor, but that's the worst of it. Sotha Seal exiled an auxiliary last week because she forgot to switch off a lamp. Right, don't let me keep you. I can't imagine how demanding Devath must be. Better you than me, that's for sure. Keep your nose to the cogs and you'll be fine. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm off to flip 24 switches. Again.
Were you treated well by the menials? I assume they battered you with complaints. What have you learned? Yes, well, I could have told you that. That's why I sent you here after all. What kinds of demands? Be specific. The lamps in the locutorium, yes? The large assembly room over there? The auxiliaries and factotums have been laboring in there day and night ever since we arrived. Curious. What could lights have to do with this? Well, there's only one way to find out. Impressive. I assumed I'd have to explain it to you. Of course, this requires a functional lamp. I assume he ordered them destroyed. Speak to that high elf of yours, Neramo. The dark elf as well. We need one of these lamps, repaired and operable.
Have you ever seen so much machinery in one place? I could spend years here and barely scratch the surface.
Ugh. I don't think I'm ever going to get this fabricant blood off my boots. I love automata, but automata with fleshy bits? No thanks.
I hope to see you again, Assistant. Pray tell, what did Devath have to say? I fear that he and I might have gotten off to a poor start. Did he ask about me? Any mention of my many exploits? Raynor? Surely this is something I can handle myself. Impressing Devath could greatly increase my standing in the Dwemerich scholarly community. Tell me, what does Lord Fear ask of me? Us? He just wants us to build a lamp? What an odd request. No matter. I would be happy to offer my ample expertise, provided you let Devaith Fear know that I did so. First things first. I need to study one of the lamps we're supposed to recreate.
Taking Naramo down into the fundament, eh? Keep a close eye on him. You and I both know how dangerous that place can be.
Another trip into the fundament? I would accompany you if not for Kirith. I think she needs a break from fabricant-infested sewers. Lead the way, assistant. Valued peer. Once we have a thorough understanding of the parts, I'll have the lamp assembled in no time. Some kind of tubular housing. Probably meant to protect a glass interior? Difficult to say. A complex filament of some kind. The weaving on this fiber, it must be machine-made. I should be taking notes. Some kind of compressor. For funneling a gas, perhaps? Interesting. Look at the apertures on this. It must be some kind of modulator that changes the nature of the light. Fascinating. Compressors, filaments, housings, modulators. Yes! I think I understand what these discarded lights have in common. Unlike the other lamps, these compress some kind of geodic gas into metal tubes, then modulate the light to create another kind of illumination that mortal eyes cannot see. Invisible light! Remarkable! The potential applications are limitless. Yes, with Rayna's assistance, I believe we can recreate this lamp without much difficulty. Of course, you'll need to procure the requisite parts. These are all broken beyond repair. What do you plan to do with this light, exactly? You plan to do what? Oh dear. Well, this seems like a terrible idea, but I shall rely upon you and Lord Fear to protect me. Here's a list of the components I'll need. Once you've acquired them, meet me in the Hall of Refined Techniques. Good luck.
Now there's the look of someone on the hunt for something specific. You've come to the right place, friend. I've got a bit of everything. What can I get you? As a matter of fact, I acquired some of those just a few days ago. Apparently, someone's tossing out the old lighting to make way for the new. They're not easy to come by anymore, though. What's your offer? It's a bit less than I'd prefer, but if that's all you can afford, I'm a reasonable woman. We'll consider this a down payment on future business. Come see me again sometime, all right?
Kirith and I reassembled a Dwemerich orrery with nothing but broken soul gems and spare parts. Now, look at me. Puzzling over a lamp. Don't worry, though. We're near to finishing this thing. I know it. Ah, you've returned! Excellent! Rayna and I have cobbled together a serviceable frame for the lamp. All we need now are the components I sent you to acquire. Were you successful? Wonderful! I'm confident this lamp will conform to the exact specifications of the lamps they removed, provided Raynor didn't make any miscalculations. So, would this be the time to inform Devaith Fear of our success? Or mine, specifically? Excellent, excellent! No need to return here, of course. Kirith should be back straight away, and I'll have her run the completed lamp over to the locutorium as soon as it's ready. See you soon, Assistant.
Ah, I was beginning to worry. Not about you, of course. These apostles have been circling me like cliff racers. Looking for an autograph, no doubt. So tiresome. I take it you were successful in learning about these lights and constructing a new one? Well done. I assume you discovered the special property of these lamps. Why does my dear friend Seal go to such lengths to avoid them? Visible light? Fascinating. To help with factotum navigation, perhaps? Huh, no matter. Further inquiry must wait. Now is the time for action. I will request a congressional assembly. Plant your lamp on the balcony above, then return to me.
Did you say something about putting the lamp on the balcony? We might have a problem. Raynor and that annoying high elf finished your lamp, but there's a problem. On the way here, I overheard an aide complaining about some new security measures Sotha Seal put in place. Looks like the balcony is under heavy guard now. Looks that way, unless you want blood on your hands, of course. But that might complicate our sponsorship a smidge, yeah? Just be quick and quiet, like me. You'll be fine. Here's the lamp, good luck. If a guard spots you, just find a basket or something to hide in. Trust me, that'll be a lot easier than trying to take on Sotha Seal's private army all by yourself. Good luck up there.
I convinced Sotha Seal that the Congress requires yet another lecture on the sanctity of clockwork automata. He eagerly agreed. Seemed almost giddy about it. It was unsettling. Is all in readiness? Good. Seal's lecture should begin any moment now. Stand ready to activate the lamp. I'm reasonably certain that something will happen, but the specifics elude me. I guess this is what uncertainty feels like. What a novel change of pace.
Yet again, serve as an extension of my divine will. Accost them, and you accost me. In the past, I have encouraged a child's curiosity and accepted minor blasphemies. But my generosity has limits. Know this. Any servant of the Clockwork God found tinkering with factotums shall face severe sanction. In this place, and control.
What is that? What's happening?
After him! Someone seize that imposter!
I am the Clockwork God. You will kneel before me. Kneel!
I haven't the time to discuss this, Varuni. Wittingly or unwittingly, Lord Set no longer serves the people of Clockwork City. Now, if you will excuse me.
Gascoigne, where are you going? When news of this gets out, we need to issue a statement or at least gather the Congress for an emergency session.
I have urgent matters to attend to. Make whatever statement you like. I will return soon.
What is Gascoigne thinking? Honestly.
Well, that was enlightening. To think I've been speaking to Sotha Sil's shadow all this time. It seems so lifelike. Far more advanced than my own, I'm sorry to say. Fascinating. It really is too bad we'll all be dead soon. Well, I don't mean to alarm you, but I will be frank. If an impostor sits upon the throne aligned and learns how to wield the power of this place, a cataclysm will follow. We may yet discover a way to avert this disaster, but the chances are slim. Stay with Varuni. With Sotha Sil exposed as an impostor, the Congress will fall into turmoil. In such chaos, dark truths always float to the surface. Pray they do so quickly. I have other inquiries to make. Stay vigilant. We will meet again soon.
My dear Lord Set, what happened to you? I can scarcely believe what we just witnessed. How could this happen? How could a shadow masquerade as Lord Set? The Father of Mysteries would never let such a thing happen. There must be another explanation. Fear, of course. Always the iconoclast. I'll bet he's snickering at us even now. It doesn't matter. I appreciate your diligence. This has been a profoundly upsetting ordeal, but we must move forward. We must find the real Lord Set. Yes, he was acting strangely, wasn't he? He always chafed under Lord Set's rule. Now he finally has a pretext to seize control, and he slinks away like a broken basilisk. Curious. Too curious. The real Lord Set will aid us eventually, I know it. In the meantime, we must do for ourselves. Thank you for everything you've done. It appears we'll have to do a lot more before this is through. Classic Gascoigne. Fleeing to his chambers when things go poorly. I'm sure that news of Lord Set's condition has already made it to the streets. We have to move quickly to prevent a panic. Try to talk to Gascoigne. He clearly doesn't care what I have to say, but he might listen to an exodromal. You remain, a novelty. No offense. We can't assemble the Congress without the Chancellor. Check his rectory in the west wing of the Basilica. He hides in there sometimes to nurse a bruised ego or write passive-aggressive memoranda. I'll try to settle the Apostle's nerves. Honestly, my nerves could use some settling. Don't let Gascoigne wriggle out of this. He has a duty and an obligation, as do I. What? Yes, I'll be fine. This makes no sense. I don't understand how a shadow could take Lord Set's place. Maybe this is some sort of test. But why test us? The Clockwork Apostles haven't strayed. We build and pray and experiment just as the holy texts dictate. Compromised? You make it sound as if Lord Set suffers some kind of defect, like a crimped duct or a stripped bolt or something. We're talking about a divine being. Gods can't be compromised. They exist without flaws. Right? Do you know what the sermons say? Complexity belies the truth. The world rests on simple principles. Set is the truth and the light. Understand the simple, and you understand the obscure. I do appreciate your candor. Let's pick this up again later.
Where did you hide it, you worm?
hurt you, but now I'm going to.
There you are. The factotums reported a strange energy signature in Gascoigne's rectory. Did you find anything odd in there? Sounds like a nocturnal shrike. By the gears, how did that thing make it past our security coils? Is Gascoigne... Not suspicious at all, is it? A sudden departure followed by a Daedra attack. You're right. I knew Gascoigne was a conceited sluggard, but consorting with Daedra? I pray it's not true. We need to discover what he has that the Daedra covet. Proctor Luciana might be able to organize a search. She just left to disperse a crowd. I hope you catch Gascoigne soon. We need to know what he knows immediately. Birds? Not that I'm aware of. He might be tinkering with some kind of avian automaton, but he rarely discusses that sort of thing with me. Why do you ask? Wait, feathers? From a live bird? Unprecedented. As far as I know, no living bird has ever set foot or wing in Clockwork City. And even if they did, they wouldn't last long. Not a lot of worms crawling around here. They do eat worms, right? Fascinating. I've always wanted to see one. Under better circumstances, of course. I'll notify our naturalists once we resolve this situation with Gascoigne. I'm afraid not. Gascoigne keeps his own counsel about what he does outside the Basilica. He spent a few days out in the Radius last month, but that's hardly unusual. Apostles conduct research outside the fortress all the time. Mathematics, mostly. Predictive theory, spherical values, virtuous enumeration, that sort of thing. He just published a dissertation on transdimensional calculation, making inferences on how numbers change during planar travel. Impressive work. The specificity of his calculations just boggles the mind. It's almost as if he had access to a planar rift. Oh no. I don't want to even consider it. Not until we have proof.
I'm not here to speculate on Lord Set's whereabouts. I'm here to clear the square.
You don't know, do you? I knew it! This is a disaster!
If you want to panic, do so in your own homes, not in the public square. Now disperse, or be dispersed. Get them moving.
You heard the Proctor. Return to your homes.
If you're looking for Lord Set, I don't know where he is. I will find out, though. Count on it. Gascoigne, what has he done now? I can't keep up with the complaints. Good. Maybe a fabricant ate him. Our luck has to change at some point. So, he finally graduated from corrupt hobbyist to professional villain. I'm almost relieved. Now we can finally give him what he deserves. I assume you informed your sponsor, Provost Varuni? A citywide search? I can't spare enough apostles to search a broom closet. Reports are flooding in from the Radius. Stories about fanatics in black robes, pale-skinned Daedra, living shadows. We may have a full-scale invasion on our hands. I have one asset I can spare. I know an artificer, Dalamar. He takes some getting used to, but you won't find a better tinkerer. He can help you find Gascon, guaranteed. Go talk to him. He set up shop near the tenements. Slagtown. I knew that slag-addled piece of garbage Gascon would turn on us eventually. We should have dealt with this decades ago. I think we should destroy it, if only to convince the people it can be destroyed. I'm already getting reports from citizens convinced that their neighbor or their friend is actually a shadow. Another few weeks of this, it will not end well. I'm prepared to live with that. I made a vow to protect the Clockwork City and its inhabitants. If sacrifices have to be made, we should all be prepared to make them, Lord Set included. You can ask. I have a crank in between my shoulder blades. One of my auxiliaries winds me up every morning before breakfast. That's a joke. In the same way as every other clockwork automata. A combination of engineering and sorcery that would take a century to explain. The machinery keeps me alive. I know it's unsettling to look at, but no one ever said life in Clockwork City was fair. The same as you, I wager. A combination of heroism and coincidence. I served Riemann Cyrodiil as a battle mage during the Akaviri troubles and the Valenwood annexation. Yes, I'm still not exactly sure what happened. During the Valenwood campaign, I locked staves with a wood elf spell leader named Keladith. He was deceptively powerful, wiry, quick as a skeever trap. I remember cleaving his staff with a summoned blade. Possibly. I think he was in the midst of a translocation spell when my sword made impact. There was an explosion and a bright light. When I woke, I was splayed out in the radius. Mangled. Yes, his factotum scooped up what was left of me and brought me here. He mended my wounds and replaced what couldn't be mended with metal. I asked him why. Because one day you will shine a light, he said. And that was that. Always. Take my advice. If we manage to find the real Set, don't expect him to embrace you as a friend. We're all cogs in his eyes. Valuable. Beautiful, even. But ultimately expendable. You either grow to accept that, or you turn out like Gascon. Yes, bitter, sullen, probably traitorous, and if I get my way, dead.
Well, look at you, all full of fleshy bits. Not a scrap of brass on you, is there? That won't do, that will not do. I can fix you up, no bother at all. Maybe new feet. You need new feet, don't you? A missing person? How mysterious. You wouldn't be looking for Sotha Seal, would you? I hear rumors, you know. All kinds of rumors. Something about him turning into a crow. Or was it a frog? Never mind. Luciana did you a favor. I have just the thing. Whoa! Cool those cogs, you twitchy rascal. This little scrap heap should do the trick. Meet Snuffler, the tracking Nyx. There he goes! I just replaced his leg springs, so try to keep up.
Sotha Seal built this place and everything in it, except the people. Well, maybe even a few of them too, by the look. Why Lord Set needs so many creations that imitate life? Because he could, to better understand them? You'd probably just walk up and ask. can't wait to write home about this.
Oi! Wake up, Johnny! Visitors! Useless. What are you doing nosing around here with that ugly beast? Johnny and I haven't done nothing. Chancellor who? Oh, you mean that brass-arsed fancy boots that came running through here? Yeah, I seen him, dragging his silly apostle skirts behind him like a broken wheel chain. Seemed like he was in a hurry. Pretty suspicious, if you ask me. Yeah, the grease mucks up Dabrakan snoots. That's why we stay down here. Wouldn't want the constable to see you. Never mind. Your man headed west. Should be some oily footprints about. Follow those tracks and you'll find your fancy boots.
Who are you? Another one of vile, sniveling agents. Gascoigne's gone. Now, let me return to my mistress in peace. West, in the ventral terminus. He may have killed me, but he won't last long. He sealed his fate the moment he betrayed us. There existed a covenant between your Gascon, Clavicus Vile, and my mistress. But he broke it. Now he will drown in blood. Night Mistress, I am coming. Gascoigne vowed to bring us an artifact of great power. Now, the artifact is gone. But don't worry. My mistress will wring the truth out of him soon. The Whispering Shadows will claim this artifact, and you will all die, deafened by your own screams. You really have no idea, do you? Daedric forces conspire in every dark corner. Lurk behind every tree and stone. We spread like a plague, claiming more souls and territory with each passing hour. Sothasil's precious city will die at our hands. Yes, Scarfin and others, they served their purpose, and yet they linger, confounding my mistress's plans and providing safe harbor to that toad, Gascoigne. I will say no more.
What? Who's out there? Be gone, whoever you are. I sealed the door and it shall remain sealed. Be gone, whoever you are. I sealed the door and it shall remain sealed for as long as necessary. Questions? You think I'm foolish enough to let you in? No, this door will remain closed. I just need time to work this out, to smooth things over. Simple. Now leave me be. Who I keep counsel with is none of your concern. You're just like Varuni, so uptight, so naive. If you value your life, you'll leave this place now.